Hey, I want to thank you for taking your time to join us here on Polk Place, and joining me in studio from Smoke on the Water Barbecue Competition is Rick Smith and Kevin Ward, legends and my friends. Guys, thanks for coming in.
Good to be here.
Good to be here.
It's that time of season.
It is.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a bigger announcement to make about the event and of course the event itself. But Kevin, talk to me a little bit about how you got involved with Smoke on the Water.
Oh, geez, it's been a long time ago. It was 17 years ago that I started helping with the event. And by the way, this is our 20th year, so this is a really big deal for us. But I was friends with Rob Krieger, and Rob was on the board for the Boys and Girls Club. And he asked me to get involved in it, get involved with the club. And then I started being involved in the barbecue event and helping and doing my thing. And as years went on, I became more and more involved. And then when the guys that started it decided to retire, it fell in my lap, basically. But Rick's he was one of the original founding members.
You were one of the. So how'd you discover it?
What had happened was the Boys Club was in need of funding. And I was doing barbecue competitions in the circuit at the time, and I was asked to come to a meeting, and we were in like a little round table and decided we were going to have a barbecue competition to help raise funds for the Boys and Girls Club. At that time, we didn't even know what the name of it was going to be. And I had, at the time, I was working at Publix, and song Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water came on the radio, and I said, there's our name of the event.
There's our name, yep.
Yeah, so, but I've been in it since inception.
Both of you guys know the importance, especially now, when you guys first started off with them, it just funded the Boys and Girls Club of the western half of Polk County. But now that everything that is combined, it's really an important fundraiser, and it makes a difference in the lives of these children. Talk a little bit about that, if you would.
Back in the day, the club was struggling, and this was an extremely important fundraiser for the club. It was the biggest fundraiser that we have every year. There's actually 4 fundraisers, but about 3 years ago, Polk County combined all the clubs, and now everything's working a lot better. We got a new director, Steve G. He's an excellent guy.
Oh man, I love Steve.
World.
Yep.
And he's turned the whole thing around and it made it really good. But yeah, the barbecue event that we do is still an important part of the funds for the club.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Smoke on the Water. Every year there's a new thing that comes to it, and it just seems to get bigger and bigger. And I gotta say, last year's stage, wow, man, I love that stage. I actually felt like I was at an event. Tampa, Orlando. It's just got such a big city feel about it, but it's Winter Haven. Talk to me a little bit about it.
Well, you know, back in the beginning, geez, we used to have the bands in the tent.
We did. We did, yes.
And, you know, weather was a huge concern. It's still a huge concern, but we had the bands in the tent, and then as we got bigger and bigger, we needed to move out. We started getting bigger tents, and then pretty soon we were outgrowing the tents. So now everything's outside, and yeah, it's a great event. We actually have bands playing in more than one location. Sometimes they conflict, and we're working through that, but yeah, the crowds have been bigger and better than they ever have.
And then a unique thing to Winter Haven and Polk County, especially Winter Haven, is you guys have welcomed the ski show back, and that is such a cool thing for them to come and visit.
Well, the ski show is an integral part of the whole event. You know, I think some people just come
for the ski show.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hey, all of our retired skiers, it is so cool because some of our guys from sports marketing and former employees with the county. It's the only place I get to see the guys that really started that team.
Well, Mark Voisard, you know, he's a rock star. And, you know, Larry Gahn, he's a hoot. You know, he's always involved. But yeah, I can't tell you how much we appreciate those guys. But it's a big deal.
So let's talk the event dates. We got Friday night and we got Saturday. What's the difference? What's the admission? How can folks get tickets for both?
Go ahead, Rick.
Well, Friday night is basically our sponsor party, and we open to the public at 6 o'clock. The admission is $10, which all the gate admission basically all straight to the club. And we have live bands playing. One location, we have fireworks at 8 o'clock, and then we have, after the main stage is done, we still have another band down at the lake. We call that the lake party, and it goes on for hours.
And some of the greatest bonfires you will ever see.
Yes, sir.
I don't think I've run into a warm night there yet.
We start the bonfire several days ahead of time to get it so that it's nice
so
as
it's
it is.
Roaring.
It's roaring, yeah.
Well, obviously you guys have the help of great volunteers such as yourself and sponsors. Let's talk about some of those people that make this event.
You want me to name names?
Well, I mean, if you want to.
Well,
we can do the Santa Claus on Donner, on Blitzen.
There's a core group of us, you know, 5 or 6 people that we meet continually throughout the year, and this event has actually created a great bond, friendship between our small group. And I'm not going to name names because I'll forget somebody, and then somebody will get their feelings hurt. But yeah, we talk about this all year long. You know, this is always foremost on our mind. And it's amazing, every year, you know, we start getting towards the holidays, you know, Thanksgiving and stuff, and Rick and I are like, dang, man, this thing's right around the corner. You know, we need to start really getting ready to do it. Because there's a lot of work involved in it. Preparing the backyard behind the Boys and Girls Club, which is on Lake Cannon.
Yep.
You know, getting everything, the lake clean, getting the trees and stuff all trimmed up and clean, and getting it laid out. The layout for all where the teams are going to park and everything is a big deal. So there's a lot involved in doing that, and you know, it's good. We like doing it.
And a unique announcement came from our Visit Central Florida. They created the Triple Crown of Barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are the second stop on it.
That's right.
Oh yeah, I am excited about this because we have 3 events within the county, and they were talking. The Kansas City Barbecue Society, I mean, they hold these all over the place, but they said they've never had events like what we have, the 3 in the county, and not to mention the legends that we had. We had Chad Ward in on the show. We were talking about, you know, Rob Bagby, or as they call him, Rub, I guess. And what's the guy from Sweet Q, the Ohio State guy? I love him, but I can't remember his name. He's a former champion. It's just the way that Polk County takes this seriously, and then of course our Visit Central Florida going, why not? Why don't we create people coming in to visit for some great food? So talk a little bit about your guys' involvement in the project.
Well, like you said, we're the second stop. We think it's a great idea. I mean, you're bringing people in the area. If they're coming to the Pig Fest, they're going to stay. They're going to come to our event the next week, and then 2 weeks after, they're going to go to the one in Haines City. And it's just keeping it localized.
These teams come from all over the country, so when they roll in from wherever they've come from, they don't want to just turn around and go right back. So when you have 3 big events like ours all in a row, that's a big deal for them. That's like one-stop shop. You know, they can, you know, hang out for a while.
So are you guys expecting more teams this year because of the increased pot for the Triple Crown?
I think so.
Yes,
yeah, we
believe so.
will probably go to capacity this year.
I am truly excited about the event. We got about 30 seconds left, and inspire folks to stop by, check out Smoke on the Water this year.
Okay, so you need to come on Friday night because we got fireworks. Rick always makes arrangements to get the fireworks done. We've got a great band. Almost There is going to play on Friday night, and it goes till about 11 o'clock usually. And then after that, it's quiet time because the teams are actually really working at that point in time. Saturday morning starts at 10 o'clock all over again. I think the first band plays at noon. Something like that.
12 o'clock.
And the bands will play all the way up until around 5 o'clock. Depending on how the judges are doing and everything, we'll have the award ceremony, and that usually takes about an hour. And we give away a lot of really nice trophies. By the way, grand prize is $2,500.
Wow.
And from what I understand, it's another $1,500.
Yeah, if you
when
win
the Triple Crown.
right.
Yep.
So whoever's placing in this is going to do financially pretty well.
Yep.
But it's a fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Polk County. We got to remember that, and that is really why you need to come. Support the local Boys and Girls Clubs. It helps a lot of kids, gets them off the streets, and you know, good time, good reason to have a party.
Gentlemen, it's always a pleasure to see you. I see you a lot. Rick's like I got his credit card on file. I know him, but
Exactly.
I don't get to see you much other than at events. But
Yep. I missed the day when the yellow nose.
Oh yeah, the clown nose.
That was fun.
I think we're going to come back out and try that again.
We should, definitely should.
Well, listen, anytime that you guys have a need to promote anything, man, couch is yours. Please come back and see me.
You bet. We appreciate you having us here. It means a lot.
It does.
Yep, thanks.
Hey, make sure you check out Smoke on the Water, the annual barbecue competition held at the Boys and Girls Club in Winter Haven. Scheduled for Friday, February 2nd at 6 p.m. and Saturday the 3rd at 10 a.m. Smoke on the Water is the biggest fundraiser for the Citrus Center Boys and Girls Club. Now, the event is sanctioned by the Kansas City Barbecue Society. Some of the things you're going to see, it's a music festival and great food and great entertainment, and how can we forget the ski show, and not to mention the 80 teams from across the country that will compete for the grand champion title. Now, if you need more information, give them a call, 863-967-1532, or check them out on Facebook at Smoke on the Water. If you enjoyed that episode of Polk Place, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and even check out the next one.